my YouTube channel, Riggin It Right. I'm Kevin. I figured for the first video for this channel, we should start off with the basics. I know a lot of inexperienced fishermen don't know how to rig up a pole, a reel pole, main line to the reel, tie a leader, tie a hook on. I'm going to keep it real simple for you guys. One knot is all I've used in my 14 years, 15 years of fishing. I've only used one knot to tie all my rigs. So I'm going to show you this knot, and I'm going to show you how we use it. So, yeah, let's get into it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start by tying the main line onto your reel. So, obviously I don't have this spool actually on a reel, so the first thing I'm going to say is make sure before you put the loop that we're going to create on the reel, you open the bail. If you don't, the bail's never going to actually spin the line onto the spool. So make sure you open the bail and then put the loop on and then close the bail. And I'll show you again once we make the loop. So the knot we're tying is called an uni knot. I have my main line here. I'm using 25-pound test line and 50-pound test line. Normally I fish with lighter line than this. I use a lot of light tackle, but it'll be easier to see in this video if I use a little bit thicker, heavier line. So that's why I'm using 25-pound test line and 50-pound test line. You can use these knots with whatever kind of line you're using, whether it's tying braided to braided, which I don't know why you'd be doing, but tying mono to braided or monofilament to monofilament. This knot works great for all kinds of line. So, again, getting into it, we're going to go through how to tie on your main line onto your reel. So, what we're going to do is we're going to tie the single uni knot, and we're going to make a loop here. And this loop is, like I said, we're going to use the same knot, so later when we tie the hook onto the leader, this loop is what we're actually going to be putting the hook through. So we're going to put the hook through here, and then we'll have the hook on this loop, and we'll tie the exact same knot that we're tying now. For now, we're just going to make a loop and have it be an empty loop, and we'll put that loop onto the reel and tighten down the slip knot. So we made our loop, and then we pinched it together in our non-dominant hand. I'm right-handed, so I pinched it in my left hand. And we'll make another loop and pinch that one again in your left hand. And we're going to go over both lines and through the loop 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to take the tag end of the line, pull it tight, or at least semi-tight, and you'll see the knot start to tighten down. You can grab from this end and slide back the knot, and again pull the tag end to tighten down the knot. It doesn't have to be super tight, because once we slip it down onto the reel and tighten it down, it's going to tighten down the knot as well. So again, like I said at the beginning, make sure you open your bail before you put this on. I don't have this on a reel, so. And then once you put this over this, you're just going to slip it down on. Slip it down on, and you can tighten it all the way down. And then you're just going to take a pair of scissors that work much better. Okay, so now our main line is attached to our reel. We fed the end of the tag end of the line through the eyes of the pole, down, opened the bail, put the loop on, tightened it down, and trimmed the excess off. So now we can reel the line on the pole. I usually put a pencil through here, through the spool, and just kind of hold it so there's a little tension, and you can reel all the way down until you fill your spool up a good portion of the way. You don't want it so full that it starts to tangle on you. So just 3/4 of the way out, depending on what kind of line you're using too. If you're using braided, you don't need to put near that much on. You can put half of the spool on. It would be plenty. So now that we've got our main line attached to our reel, we've got our reel loaded, we've got the spool full of the main line, we can attach the leader to the main line. So usually when I put a leader on, I like to do about an arm's length. I'm short, so a little bit longer than an arm's length for me. Short arms. Okay. So now we tied a single uni to attach the main line to the reel. Now we're gonna tie the same knot. We're just gonna tie it twice in what's called a double uni. I have overlapped the leader with the main line. So the tag end of the leader is over here. The tag end of the main line is over here. It really doesn't matter if we're going the other way. The leader can be over here, so long as they're overlapping. It really doesn't matter which knot we tie first. We're just tying 2 slip knots, and then we're going to slip them together. So I'll start on my right side, since that's how I'm going to grip it anyways, because I'm right-handed. I make my loop, go over the 2 lines and through the loop 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then pull the tag end tight. And remember, I said you can pull at the end, slip at the end of the knot back, and pull the tag end tight again, and that'll help tighten it down. And then we're going to tie the exact same knot with the other line. Make a loop over both lines and through the loop 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pull that tag end tight, and now you have 2 pretty tight, semi-tight uni knots. And as you can see, there's a gap here with where the lines overlap. Sometimes what we're going to do is we're going to pull these tight. Sometimes you get the knots a little tight, and it's hard to slide. Just run it through your mouth, get a little saliva on there, and the lubrication will allow you to pull the knots together. Now guys, this is a super strong knot. It is not going to break. The weak point in this line is not going to be this knot. You'll find that out when you get hung up on a rock or something like that. If you're structure fishing, your main line is going to be the first thing that gives out if you do break your line. Super, super strong knot, not something you have to be worried about. again, trim off the excess. Okay. So now we have our leader tied to our main line using the double uni. We're going to tie the exact same knot that we tied onto here, onto the reel, onto the hook. Except this time, instead of just making a loop like we did, we're going to put the hook on that loop. Now the hook's on that loop. Now we're going to make our loop for the knot. Go over both lines and through the loop 4 times. 2, 3, and 4. Pull the tag end tight. Now I just caution you to be careful when you're pulling the tag end tight. Remember, you do have a sharp hook in your hand. You don't want to pull it and slip and have it go into your finger. If you're out on a boat and you're using a big enough hook, you can hook onto the cleat, hook onto your anchor cleat or something, and just pull on the leader line, and it'll tighten right down for you. I have a pen here, I'll show you. And again, that's another single uni knot to put our hook on. One more time, trim off the excess. And now we can add our split shot or our bobber or whatever we're fishing with right along our leader. So one more time, single uni knot with just a loop over the reel. Make sure you open your bail after you've put your line through all of your eyes down your pole to attach your main line to your leader. It's a double uni knot. Make sure your lines are overlapping and not parallel. And then we're tying the exact same single uni that we used to put the main line on the reel to attach the hook to the leader. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Again, this is Kevin. Feel free to teach as many people as you can about the uni knot. It's super strong, super easy, and it's the only knot you need for rigging it right.
Eddie waited till he finished high school.